What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Vlad the Bull, your #1 Embrace coach. And I want to let you know that my book, The Embrace Method, How to Leverage Your Trauma and Pain to Live the Life of Your Dreams, the second edition is now available on Amazon for purchase. Through heartfelt anecdotes, practical exercises, and profound insights, this book will show you how to confront your demons, heal your wounds, and emerge stronger and more resilient, ready to embrace a future with limitless possibilities. Remember, embracing your pain is the first step to transforming it into power. Be sure to get your copy today. And remember, embrace your struggles, embrace your successes, and most importantly, embrace yourself. Visit www.embracemethod.com to learn more about the Embrace Method book and the Embrace Framework.
Welcome to the Roots and Rhythm podcast, where we explore the essence of culture, our experiences, and a healing journey that shapes our growth and family. Through heartfelt stories about marriage, mental health, relationships, and parenting, we create a space where you can find connection, understanding, and inspiration. Join us as we explore the rhythms of life, one story at a time.
What's up, everybody? Yeah, welcome to another episode of the Roots and Rhythm podcast, where we explore the rhythms of life, one story at a time. As you know, it's already time. It's your boy, Vlad the Bull, your #1 Embrace coach, and I'm joined by my lovely co-host, the one and only
Angie, La Cyber Mommy.
Is in the building. It's in the building. All right, new week, new discoveries, new knowledge. What you got for me, sis?
New snow.
Yeah,
New
we got some
winter
new snow.
storm.
We got some new snow, too.
Right. New,
That's
what is it? Historical numbers. New everything. Ice. Fun fact. Alana
What's
had a special guest at her school, Wally the Green Monster from
Wally.
the Red Sox.
Oh, for real?
Yes.
Oh, that's dope.
And
I
she
don't think I've ever met Wally.
Yeah, he's so cool. And the person in the suit, he was really cool too. But anyway, she got to go on stage with him, and it's funny because then her friend also got to go on stage, and Wallace was like, the nepotism here is real because her bestie Griffin's mom works for the Red Sox.
Oh.
So she was like, hey, Wally, pick this kid right here. That's Griffin's friend. And Wallace was just rolling his eyes. And I'm like, my baby deserves to go up there, okay? With Wally. But she had a great time. And I learned so much. Again, I'm not a New England girl. So Wally the Green Monster, I'm like, why do they have a green monster? He came out of a green wall. If y'all didn't know.
Wait, so the green wall gave birth to Wally?
Yes,
the
in
Green Monster?
1997. He just came out of the wall in 1997. And it was funny because he showed us this video of like the day that it happened, like when he was born out of the wall. Well, he's been living in there for many years, but he came out of the wall that day. And then they pan to the fans in the audience, and it's like so Boston. They're like, what's going on? Like, why is this happening right now? Like let's get back to baseball.
Wow.
And now he's so loved.
I feel like a fake ass Bostonian because I have no idea that there was lore behind Wally the Green.
Well, now I'm telling you.
There's a whole origin story for Wally.
There is.
Hey,
because he
you
came
learn
out of
something
the
new
wall.
every day.
His name is Wally. You get it?
You learn something new every day.
And Tessie is not his wife. That's his sister. The girl monster.
Is she the orange one?
No, she's also green.
Okay, I'm gonna admit something right now on this podcast right now. I'm gonna admit that I've only ever been to one Red Sox game.
So have I. Only one.
And so all I remember was Sweet Caroline.
Yeah.
And maybe
that's part of it.
And you know what I mean? And that's literally all I remember. So that is my admission that I haven't seen enough Red Sox games. I don't like crowds either. Like huge crowds. Like I'll go to events, I'll go to concerts, but I don't know. It's tough. It's tough for me. Cuz especially around sporting events. Cuz as we were just talking, Boston, if you're not from Boston, you got to understand Bostonians are not like
the fans are different.
We're not the run-of-the-mill sports fans. If for some reason in 2008 the Celtics got to the NBA playoffs and the Big Three couldn't pull it off, I'm pretty sure the entire state would have burned. All right, like that's how real it is in Boston.
Fair.
We love our sports. We will die for our sports. Literally, I used to bounce, as you know, at West End Johnny's in Boston. Excellent restaurant, highly recommend. But, trying to make $12 an hour in college, and we always, obviously, West End Johnny's is right down the street from the TD Garden. So the Celtics cheerleaders would come over. Sometimes, once in a blue moon, a player or two might come. but they had the little VIP section and everything. People just don't know how to act. That's all I'm saying.
Just it's sports in general. But yeah, so shout out to Carrie and the Red Sox for making my little girl so happy. But yeah, Alana and Aria are New England girls, so they have to go to these things and they have to like these things, and we have to support it.
Yeah.
And that's what I tell Wallace. I'm like, Wallace, we're from Florida. These girls are from up here. Let's let them. Just let them.
Yeah, you got to let them. You know what? You also Let Them by Mel Gibbons.
Let them subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Come on with it right there. Subscribe. Make sure you hit that button. Smash that bell so we can get the Roots and Rhythm out to the people who need to hear it. All right, so without further ado, we are excited. Today is another special edition of the Roots and Rhythm podcast. Why, you may ask? Because we've got another special guest. Today, we're going to be talking about addiction and recovery. Now, we've touched on this a little bit in some of our previous episodes, sis.
But we're not experts.
But we're not experts. We're not lived experience experts, nor are we clinicians. And so now we finally have an expert to come to the building and add value and bring some much needed, much requested conversations about the topic. So let me introduce my man before the excitement comes through my nose and I can't speak anymore. Okay. So the guest we have today is an extremely grateful father of 2 boys. So he's a father. He's a parent in the fight. Let's go. 2 boys. Boy, dad, what's up? He's been in recovery since October 21st of 2019. So we're talking about over 7 years of sobriety, just about 7 years. Passionate to help people start to believe in themselves and get on a path towards achieving whatever goals that they have. You already know how I feel about that. You already know how I feel about it. He's a certified addictions recovery coach, aka a CARC. Not a narc, but a CARC. Okay.
Did you just make that up?
No.
That's what they call it?
Yeah, that's what they call it. Currently enrolled at Mount Wachusett Community College and looking to attain his LADAC and Human Services degree. So, ladies and gentlemen, all of our Roots and Rhythm family, please put your hands together. Beat your virtual chest for our special guest, Joshua Kephart. Tell me if I'm pronouncing that correctly, brother. Kephart. Okay.
Kephart.
Joshua Kephart is in the building. Welcome, Joshua. It is a pleasure to have you in the Roots and Rhythm studio. And man, how are you feeling today in general, as we do a check-in? How are you feeling today and how are you feeling about being on the podcast, brother?
I feel great about being on the podcast, man. We've been going back and forth for a couple months. This is a platform I really was excited to be a part of. You know, I'm grateful. Like you said in the beginning, I'm grateful to be here, to be able to shed some light on this topic specifically. And yeah, shout out to Boston, right? I'm feeling good. Celtics won last night. Patriots in the AFC Championship game coming up. So we're doing all right over here, man. I appreciate you guys. So I am. I'm just another guy, man. I'm just blessed to be here. I don't particularly think there's anything special about me, right? But
there is, brother.
Hey, man, I'm blessed. I'm blessed. We'll say that. I'm blessed always. I'm a dad. I got a 13 and a 12-year-old Irish twins. They're only 10 and a half months apart. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I've been in recovery, like you said, since 2019. I never thought in a million years I would be a person that's in recovery. Coming up, I didn't really think I was worth it, you know? So I did things that fit with what I felt about myself, you know? I didn't always make the best decisions. But God saw fit that I had something else to bring to the table, man, and gave me a chance, and here I am. So
yeah, isn't that beautiful how the world works, man? How the very thing that causes you strife and pain could be the thing that same journey that actually heals other people
and propels you into being better.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, thank you for sharing. It's not often that we have open and honest conversations about addiction with people who've been through it. And addiction means something different to everybody, depending on who you're talking to. I mean, I feel like these days clinical terms are just being thrown around, probably see it in your work all the time, Josh, but clinical terms are being thrown around all the time. Like, I'm just addicted to the internet. I'm addicted to this. Or I'm addicted to that. But for somebody who's actually been addicted, been in recovery, and has done the work, what does that word addiction mean to you in your line of work and both in your personal experience? Hey everybody, it's your boy Vlad the Bull, your #1 Embrace coach. Listen, I know that you are enjoying this Roots and Rhythm podcast episode, but I want to take a minute to talk to my fellas. Let's talk energy and vitality. If you've been feeling low, sluggish, or not quite yourself in the bedroom, it's time to check out the Natural E-Man. It's a powerful, all-natural men's supplement created by a good brother I trust, Dr. Quentin Cancel, someone I met in my men's group who's all about holistic health and real results. Trust me, I've seen the impact firsthand. So if you're ready to level up your energy, confidence, and performance, visit naturaleman.com and feel the difference. That's naturaleman.com. The link's in the show notes. All right, y'all, let's get back to the podcast.
So my personal experience, right? Like, it's behaviors. Like it's the behaviors that are attached to whatever the addiction is. Addiction, I mean, people are addicted to social media, like you said, Vlad. Like it's thrown out there all over the place, right? But it's the behaviors associated with the addiction that could end up becoming a problem, right? That you have to learn, you have to address, but you don't know what you don't know. So until that gets highlighted for you, you're not able to work on it. And so yeah, I see it every day in my line of work, and it varies for everybody. It varies.
So in that same, since we're talking about addiction and how some people kind of define it certain ways, what's something that people often misunderstand about addiction that you've had to unlearn yourself?
So as a child, right? And like you looked at people, maybe unintentionally, you looked down on people that suffered with addiction, right? Your brain automatically goes to the homeless person, people that are in jail. It's not typically a good association, right? But like I learned within myself that like, wow, I'm actually a pretty solid person. I'm a pretty good person. I know what's going on in the world, right? Like, and like, so I had to unlearn that, right? That it's a disease, guys. Like addiction is a disease for sure. Nobody wakes up and says, I want to drink myself to death, right? Nobody wakes up and says, I want to be a heroin addict. Nobody wakes up and wants to commit crimes to supply themselves with their addiction. Nobody does that, right? It ends up getting there, progresses to that point. So like I had to learn that like people don't know what they don't know. And it doesn't mean you're a bad person because you suffer with the disease of addiction.
Yeah, that's a good point, that people just automatically assume like the unhoused or people in jail with addiction. But it's like, it's literally, it could be your neighbor, because there's people that are like, to your point, you knew about what's going on in the world. They're very high functioning. So it's not someone that's like, unfortunately living on the street or in prison. It's literally your neighbor, your coworkers. It could be anyone, and it doesn't discriminate. So it's like addiction can touch anyone, anywhere.
I mean, that's
absolutely.
It's so true too, right, sis and Josh? Because I used to work at Logan Airport. I don't know if I told you about this, Josh, but I used to work at Logan Airport, and there was a sizable homeless population there. And the issue for me, it was never an issue because my parents come from poverty. Yeah. And my mom always taught me the person that you look down on today might be you tomorrow, right? And so I didn't have a problem if I was unstably housed. The airport is a public place. It's clean. It's got heat. Why not? Not bothering me, not bothering anybody else. But unfortunately, we, as you said, Josh, we've been conditioned to stigmatize those people as being not hardworking, as being lazy, as choosing this life. As if anyone wakes up one day and says, I'm going to destroy my life, I'm going to alienate my relationships, right? And be stuck on something, and be stuck on a behavior, be stuck in a cycle. And it's so much deeper than the power of choice, right? It's a lot of times addictions are inherited, right? And so a lot of the times we get directives to remove the homeless folks. And that automatically just set me on fire. I'm like, I'm not doing that.
Right.
And you get to talking to these people because you got to keep your job. And so I tell them like, hey, listen, brother, just get on this bus, go over there and come back. Okay. and then I'll just act as if I didn't see you. And I'm like, hey, and you get to talking to these people and you realize that they're people just like you and I.
Right.
They all have stories. They all should be on this podcast, but they all have stories. And what do you do when you don't understand something? What do we always talk about, Ange? Get the information.
Get the information. Ask the questions.
And talk to people who've been through it, And, I'm really glad, Josh, that you're shedding light on this and using the term as it should, as addiction is classified as a disease. It disrupts, it destroys, but it's not, the end all be all. There is life after addiction. So one question I have for you, brother, is you've been in recovery for a while, right? And congratulations, man, on being sober.
Thank you.
At what point in your recovery journey did you realize that your story could become more than your own, but become a tool for advocacy, right? Like, how did you take that from something that was a part of your life story to now a part of your ministry, as it will?
Yeah, that's a good question. So regular human beings all the time, right? Like we call them normies, like normal people, right? Like,
normies.
Yeah. Like a lot of people are always searching for that why, right? Like why? And so I've been working in recovery for 5 years, doing different things. I've been in my current position for, a little less than 3, coming up on 3 years in my current position that I have. But I just figured it out. I just figured that the answer to the why. I just figured that out like probably 6-7 months ago, man. And like, it was such a relieving feeling figuring that out, because like you lose a lot of people in this life, man. People that you went to high school with. I have many friends, family that have been lost to this disease, right? And when you're going through the depths of addiction, like you wonder, like, oh, why wasn't that me? Like, why him instead? Why her instead? Like, why wasn't it me? And I strongly believe that I'm here today to advocate for those people who haven't found their voice yet.
Yeah.
Right. They haven't figured out that, wow, I do bring something to the table. Right. And I have that opportunity. It's when I say I'm blessed, man, like I'm blessed. I have an absolute opportunity to let people and shine a light on some of these strengths that these individuals have, so then they can speak up for themselves. Right. You touched on the word stigma a couple minutes ago, right? Anybody that knows me, I do approach this stuff uniquely, right? Like the way I approach recovery and addiction is different than a lot of people, right? But I love the stigma personally, right? I got tattoos on my hands. I dress the way that I dress, all that. And I love when people have a certain feeling on addiction or people in recovery, because like, please give me 5 minutes of your time and let me explain a little bit. And if you don't walk out of that 5-minute conversation feeling differently than you did, then you got the problems. I don't got the problems, right.
Yeah.
So I embrace that stuff, man. And a lot of people think like the substances are what the problem is, right? Like the substances were never the problem. I got taught this early on in my recovery journey. Like the substances aren't the problem. The problem was me. How I didn't know how to process my emotions, how I ran away from any stressful scenario in my life, right? As a young kid, like oh, this is going on. I don't want to deal with this. So I'm going to go smoke a joint, or I'm going to go do this. I'm going to go do that. Right. And I'm not feeling what I need to feel in order to progress in my life. And that starts as a young child, man. It starts with the escaping. You don't want to, your parents are yelling. So you go and you throw your headphones on and you're playing your video games. Right. Like,
man.
But that's teaching, they're learning how to escape from their problems, right? They're not talking about it. They don't feel comfortable within their own home to say, hey, Dad, I feel this type of way about what just happened. No, they're dealing with that internally. And as a child, you don't know how to process those emotions. So then you make your own choices. Some make good ones, some make bad ones. And then here we are.
So,
but yeah, I just figured it out, bro. I just figured it out probably 8 months ago, man. Like, I'm here because I need to be here for the next man or woman.
Wow.
Man, that is, first of all, there was so much goodness in what you just said, Josh. And I want to ask you real quick, because I want to talk a little bit about what you do for making an opportunity count. Outside of the, what are some of the addictions or the addictive behaviors that you work with? What are some of like the top 3 or 4, or some of the more common ones that you work with? And what are some of the more uncommon ones, if you have, in your clinic that maybe people are not aware about?
So I work with the more common ones, right? Like opiate use disorder, alcohol use disorder, stimulant use disorder, like the real common ones. Because unfortunately, this day and age, like, it's so prevalent in our society right now, man. Like, it is an absolute epidemic going on out there. So I work with those more often than not, right? But I also have people that have IPV, intimate partner violence stuff going on, sexual traumas, when you dive in, man, and you start opening different doors within a person's life, like you learn some things, man. Like, trauma is they say marijuana is the gateway drug, right? Like, you've heard that before, but in my estimation, like, trauma is the gateway drug.
Come on with it. Can you say that again, please? Because I don't think the people in the audience heard you, bro. You got to say that again, bro.
Yeah, for sure. Trauma is the gateway drug. Wow. Without a doubt, man.
Well, it's funny when you were saying about, when you hear yelling in the house and then you go and find like an outlet to like disassociate.
Yeah.
When you said that, me and my pictures in my mind, it's like, I feel like your parents gave you the drugs.
Oh,
like
yeah.
That's how I saw it in my mind. It's like your parents are yelling and you're trying to disassociate, like you said, with your headphones. And I just see like your parents throwing drugs, not for real, but kind of like the reason why type thing. And you said, trauma, but
yeah,
that's how I saw it in my brain.
Oh, I mean, when you said that, Josh, it just instantly threw me back to many memories that I had of that exact scenario, my parents yelling and fighting. And you mentioned video games. I remember looking right at my NHL 97 on my Sega Genesis. And I remember just sitting there and getting lost in the pixels and the depictions that you see, Angie, on TV when somebody's like disassociating and you just hear that high pitched noise. That's exactly what it was when I reprocessed it. And to your point, Josh, when we talk about trauma being the gateway drug, our parents or our environments, whoever was creating that unsafe environment for us, they're the original dope dealers, whether they realize they were dealing dope or not. And in order to supersede that, you have to recognize, because, a lot of things arise from that: behavior addiction, substance addictions, all these things. You see people who are hypersexual, you see people who are addicted to, or who are always using substances or video games or gambling or whatever it is. And you don't stop to ask the question, what is it that preceded your substance use, or what is your substance use or your behavioral addiction in response to? Yeah. And you can't get around trauma. We talk about it all the time. You can't go over it. You can't go to the side of it. You can't go around it or underneath it. You must go through it. And then you're going through it.
Process through it.
People often start going to therapy, right? Josh, correct me if I'm wrong. They often start going to therapy or intervention. Therapy. Because they have a drug problem. or a behavioral problem. And then you start peeling away those onions. You're like, oh, yo, dude, I messed up. Like,
right. Well, and that's the thing. You don't
up.
know you're messed up till you talk to other people and they're like, that's not normal.
Yeah.
And I shared this.
I'll tell you guys.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead, John.
I'll tell you guys, when I was going through my own journey, right? Like, as a man, Vlad, you can appreciate this. Like, growing up, like, I wasn't scared, right? Like, I wasn't afraid of anything. No, you can't let that be known, right?
Nah, of course.
When I got early on in recovery, man, I learned I learned very quick that turns out I was actually afraid of a lot of things, man. I was afraid of a lot of things.
Yep.
And that was a tough pill to swallow at that time, right? But truth is, man, fear is fear of not being good enough, right? Fear of success because you don't believe that you're good enough to have that success. Fear of failure because you don't want to let the people that love you down, right? Like, judgment, all these things, man. Then you put this persona on because you're afraid of what other people might think about you. You might not believe that some people don't believe that they're worth having a job, man. That's why they're homeless.
Wow.
Because their life has told them you are not good enough. You're not good enough, man. So why eventually that person starts believing that stuff? They're not going to go and get a haircut so they look presentable for their job interview.
Yeah.
They don't believe they deserve that.
Right.
I have an opportunity and a platform to be like, yo, you deserve that. Let's figure it out.
I love it, man.
And then you see that, man. You see that light come back on in people's eyes. There is absolutely nothing better on this planet than seeing somebody that's been defeated and beat down constantly, right? And then all of a sudden they hit that first victory. Boom. Wow. I did that? Yeah, you did that. And that in my line of work, they might be like, oh, thank you so much, Josh. Like, you did that for me. No. I didn't do anything. I listened. For the first time in your life, you had somebody listen to you. This is your journey, man. It's all about the journey. It's not about the destination.
Right.
Man. You got to get, and something I say, there's never losses, only lessons, man.
Yep.
Never losses.
Yep.
Dang, Josh, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. You bringing tears to my eyes, man. Just hearing that, there's something redemptive about hearing the story of, and this actually kind of goes into my next question about how when somebody is constantly, at some point they receive the messaging, and at some point that messaging becomes gospel to them, and they believe that about themselves, and so everything they do is an extension of who they believe themselves to be. And for you to be working with people and to have that platform and have that front row seat for them to hit that aha moment, to disconnect the lies that they were told and believed about themselves from who they are, what they've done or do from who they are, it's powerful, man. That's powerful. Man, it's getting real up in here, man.
No, I know. I was gonna say Vlad ain't lying. I see the tears in his eyes.
Oh yeah.
Hugs.
Well, I told you guys I'm blessed, man. That's truth. That is absolute truth. Like, I'm blessed to be able to do that. And I've had people that they're going to see their kids they haven't seen in 6 months, right? And they show up for a visit and they haven't shaved. And then you give that person the opportunity, like, all right, bro, come on, let's hit the barbershop, right? Boom. Then all of a sudden they're looking at something as simple as a haircut that people like myself, I go every 2 weeks to the barbershop. I take that for granted, right?
Yeah.
Somebody like that hasn't got a haircut or a shave in 6 months because they weren't able to.
Yeah.
Not that they didn't want to, they weren't able to. And then boom, they get that. And then you watch them as they see themselves in that mirror, in the reflection at the barbershop. Wow, this is who I am? Okay, bet. Now I'm going to go have a good visit with my children. Now they're going to see dad. They're going to see dad smiling. They're not going to see dad crying, right? It's absolute.
Beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful. Exactly. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing.
So that actually brings. So I want to talk a little bit about what you do with Make Opportunity Count, because as you know, Angie, that's how Josh and I got acquainted.
Yes, and I was gonna say, and tell us a little bit about Make Opportunity Count too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I want to learn all about it. I learned about Opportunity Count randomly. Making Opportunity Count. I didn't even know Making Opportunity Count made opportunities count. Like, you know what I'm saying? I didn't hear of it. It's, and it's like literally 20, 30 minutes away, not even 30 minutes away from where we live. And just to give you all in the Roots and Rhythm audience a little background, I was speaking at a fatherhood event, and Josh works for Making Opportunity Count, obviously. And something about our time together in that intimate setting just set something off in motion for me, where we're like, yo, we got to connect, right? And so in your work with Making Opportunity Count, you said you've been there for a little over 3 years. Where do you see the biggest gaps between policy and reality for people in recovery? Because oftentimes when we are discussing stigma, just from my perspective and experience from the law enforcement world, there's often this almost criminalization of people because they're unstably housed or because they're addicted. And the policy doesn't really seem to protect them from that. Right. Because I'm gonna keep it a stack. Andrew and Josh, this is what they told me at Logan Airport. They said, you got some of my supervisors said, you got to go out there, lock people up and to show them a message, to send them a message. And guess what would happen? The courts would come back and say, and this is Chelsea District Court, if anybody who knows the area, East Boston, they're like, hey, listen, could you do us a big favor? Could you stop locking up homeless people? Because we've got real crimes to process. All right, we've got facts. We've got murder, we've got drugs, we've got all this other stuff, and you worry about people trespassing.
But Vlad, it's like these people are already at the lowest point in their lives, and now you're going to put them in jail. If they can't afford rent, how are they going to afford to get out of jail? And an attorney and everything else. You know what I mean? It's like, make it make sense.
It's senseless. It's senseless, man. So anyway, I don't want to forget the question. So what are some of the biggest gaps that you see between policy and reality for those who are, in recovery?
Yeah. So first I'll shout out Making Opportunity Count, right? Making Opportunity Count is, salute. They do so much for the community. I mean, everything you can possibly imagine. Head starts for children, fuel assistance. There's sexual reproductive clinics. There's behavioral health, mental health therapy, prescribers. My program, which Making Opportunity Count is the umbrella, right? My program is First Steps Together. Which is designed, it's an amazing program. It's designed to help parents, specifically parents who are in recovery. One of the most beautiful things that I have the chance to do, right, is like some of these kids in DCF custody or foster care or something, because of certain circumstances, I have an opportunity to reconnect that family, right? Because you don't know who that little kid's going to grow up to be. It could be not the next, but they could be a president of the United States of America, man. You hop in there, you help mom, you help dad. And I work with moms and dads, right? But you help them figure their stuff out. And now they get to be the parent to that child, the parent that child deserves, right? And you don't know. You don't know the impact, that ripple effect that takes place, man. You have no idea. You hear horror stories all the time about foster care and foster homes, and DCF, and you do what you can to help that kid get out of that circumstance. Boom, you might have prevented years of trauma. You might have prevented that child going through addiction, right? Like, you don't know. So I've been given a platform to be able to do that from Making Opportunity Count and from First Steps Together. So, but to get to the question, like the policies, right? Just like you were just saying, Angie, right? Like people, it's just, we're conditioned. The day and age that we're in right now, like it's almost like encouraged to look down upon everybody, right? And like that's what happens until somebody steps in and is able to advocate for that person. I have meetings sometimes with DCF and providers and stuff, and reality is, right, like the Department of Children and Families, they are here to protect children,
Yep.
right? Like that's what they are here to do. So a lot of times I try to help parents understand, like, hey, they're here. Yeah, we don't, or you don't like them right now, right? Because of your circumstances, but they're really here to protect your child. And right now they're protecting yours. So let's find some gratitude in that. And then let's work towards getting that child out of that situation.
Yeah.
But there's so many discrepancies in healthcare and mental health and all that stuff when it comes to policies for people in recovery. But we're not anybody special. That's people are dealing with that. People of color are dealing with that all the time, right? Men get treated differently than women. Women get treated differently than men. If you're a member of the LGBTQ community, you get treated differently than this person and that. Like, it's wild, right? But shout out Making Opportunity Count. Shout out First Steps Together for giving people like myself a platform to be able to step in and advocate when you see those discrepancies, because that is what makes the biggest difference. Because then you start speaking up, advocating for that individual until they feel confident enough to speak up and advocate for themselves. And hopefully that's when those gaps that you're talking about, right? That's when those kind of close in. There's always going to be something. I like I told you earlier, I look at things a little bit differently. I embrace that gap and I look at that as a challenge and say, okay, let's get it. Now watch Josh close that gap, right? And then I show that to the people I'm blessed to be able to work with. And in turn, hopefully helps them to believe in themselves that they have that power, so to speak, to close those gaps themselves.
It almost sounds like you address the gaps in policy through personal development empowerment, right? Because it all ends up, every individual choice is going to have an individual consequence or action or a collective one, right? And so starting at the root problem, which is trauma, trauma gets addressed, whether you like it or not, if you're in addiction or recovery, because there is, like you said, don't nobody just wake up and say, you know what, that's just pretty cool. Because, you know, as a child, you have to remember, like, those neural pathways our brains are so malleable at that time. And so the earlier we're exposed to the drug of trauma or all the other things in the environment, the harder it's going to be to turn that around. So I'm just really happy that we got brothers like Josh in our sphere of influence who are doing this very, very important work.
And that we have these organizations too that are out that are out there doing this work too, because I feel like sometimes we focus on like the statistics and, oh, are these people are doing this? And we have X amount of numbers out here that are doing this. But it's like, what about the praise reports? Like, we have programs in place. We have people that are out working and, you know, in the community that are helping people get off the street and into recovery and into programs that help them be better people. So yes, let's focus on the praise reports. So thank you, Josh. You're out here doing the work.
Yeah, boy. Give my man his flowers or whatever you like. You know, some people don't like flowers because there's a lot of maintenance, but, you know, I'm going to give you your flowers, brother. Actually, going back to your conversation early in the conversation, you were talking about how the power of a haircut, a simple haircut or an outfit change, or just allowing somebody to take a shower, a warm bath or something like that can change their outlook. How else do you help people reconnect themselves to their sense of dignity and their sense of purpose in your work, right? Because, I mean, I'll tell you, anytime I get lined up, man, I'm just happy as a clam.
You feel like a new person.
I feel like a new person anytime that I even line up, whatever it is. But those are little opportunities that we take for granted that attribute to our sense of dignity and our sense of self. So what else do you do in your work that helps reconnect people purposefully back to their dignity?
So yeah, look good, feel good, do even better. That's kind of my mantra in a sense, right?
Feel good, do even
better. Yeah, look good, feel good, do even better, man. Because you feel like crap. You're not, you know. I mean, we all go through depressive moments and stuff. Like, you feel like crap when you wake up. Like you're staying in bed, you're keeping your pajamas on, you're not getting up and taking a shower, you're not. And again, that sometimes can go 2 days, 4 days, a week. Now all of a sudden you're in this black cloud is following you everywhere you go. You have no idea why. It all started from one little moment, right? But I try to help people just see themselves through a different lens. And a lot of times it takes some time to get to that point, to believe. But I had somebody tell me the other day, right? They were complaining about something that was going on. And somebody I've been working with for a decent amount of time. And I was like, oh yeah, that is annoying. That can kind of be, a pain in the butt. And he says to me, he's like, yeah, but if this is the worst thing that happens to me all day, like life ain't all that bad.
Wow.
And
wow.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Like a year ago, no, that wasn't coming out of his mouth. Right.
Yeah.
And it's just by consistency. You show up, and then until that person can show up. And then they show up for themselves, man, right? But it starts with just modeling it, encouraging, words of affirmation, those kinds of things. Just like, and hey, I don't care what you got going on, man. I'm here, regardless of what you got going on. I'm here. So what are we gonna do at this time, right? And eventually, they start buying into it. They start believing it. I don't want to say buying into it because I'm not selling pipe dreams here, right? But like they start believing it because you're showing up. You're not judging them.
And you also live you also live that job.
Yeah.
Like they see it in action. They actually see someone that came out of that and is on the other side. And now you're helping other people come to the other side, So that's like a perfect example for them to emulate and to see.
And the other thing too is like, I believe in being a genuine person.
Yeah.
Right. Just because I got a little over 6 years in recovery, doesn't mean I got all my ducks in a row. Right. Like, doesn't mean that I don't experience pain and struggles and trauma and financial problems in this economy, right? Like that I don't have my kids stressed out, or they don't want to do their homework, or I got this going on with this person, that going on. I'm just like everybody else, right? So I believe in that. Like I'm not gonna this is crazy to say, but sometimes like life sucks like 95% of the time, man, like regardless of what you got going on. Yeah. But it's whether you choose to focus on that 95% or you choose to focus in on that 5% that doesn't suck so bad. That's what's going to dictate where you go.
Yeah.
How you operate, how you're moving throughout your everyday life. You can't control what you can't control.
Yeah. And what is about?
All I can control is how I react to whatever is going on around me. That's it.
Yeah, what does the Bible say? The Bible says a man is as he thinketh, right? And so if
your mind's powerful.
Yeah. I was watching this documentary the other day, guys, and I really got to finish it. And I don't remember the name of the documentary, but it was on Prime Video, and it was about the power of human thoughts as it pertains to recovery. And you had these doctors talking about cancer patients and people who had chronic illnesses and how they were able to fully recover. Like there's this one guy who got into a catastrophic accident, and I think he like broke or completely shattered his leg. And doctor said initially that he was never going to walk again. His prognosis was pretty negative.
That guy said, watch this.
So then as he was in recovery, he started he was meditating, and he'd spend time doing in mindfulness and practicing that. And he started imagining, literally just imagine this making, he doesn't know what the inside of his body looks like, but he's imagining his leg being put back together piece by piece by piece. And guess what? This dude ended up running marathons. After doctors said that he could never, ever do it again. Why? Because his mind literally started regenerating his body.
The power of positive thinking.
Yeah. So when we talk about this, man, when you're saying that, I'm like, if people could only understand and get where the intervention is. And I use that word intentionally because I think when you hear intervention, you think about a bunch of people in a room, in a circle, telling you that you suck, right?
Mm-hmm.
Intervention doesn't always look like that. Intervention simply means to intervene upon something, to stop something from happening that's already in progress. And so for many of us, those limiting beliefs, those thoughts that we learned through our trauma about ourselves, the gospels, the false gospels that we believed about ourselves and that we enact in our everyday lives, like that's a thing that needs to be intervened upon. And once that intervention starts happening, momentum takes over.
Right.
And I just love it. I love how you do it. Real quick, Josh, you said something, man, that I really wanted to come back to about children and families. You were talking about IPV, intimate partner violence, correct? What, in your work and making the opportunity count, what relationship do you see between the prevalence of intimate partner violence and substance use? Is there a relationship at all?
Yeah, right. Yeah, because again, bringing it back to the beginning, like there's an escape. You sometimes you have to escape. You have no other choice, right? And that's where substance use disorder can start rearing its ugly head, right? If somebody's dealing with some stuff behind closed doors and they feel like the neighbor next door is going to judge them rather than help them, well, now they don't have anywhere to process what they're dealing with. So now they are left to their own vices. And here we are, you know?
Yeah.
That's like with everything, man. Everything is like the importance of friendship, right? The importance of family, the importance of trust.
Community. We love that word.
Community. Oh my God. Perfect word, Angie, for that. Yeah. Community, right? Like having that support system. I got like a list of people. If I got something I'm dealing with in my life, I pick up the phone, boom. I know they're picking up the phone. I know they're answering.
Yep.
That right there.
Every single time.
Yeah.
Every single time. Not because like I found the cheat code of like the friends to pick, right? No, because when they call me, I pick up the phone. I answer for them. I offer them the truth of the situation, not like, oh, it's my friend, so I'm going to tell him whatever he wants to hear. No, I offer him valid stuff that's going on, try to help shift his perspective. So when I have something going on, I got people that are there for me.
Yeah.
This is a life I've been able to create for myself in recovery. They don't need anything from me. Yeah. They just want to see me win. And it takes a special person to honestly, genuinely say, I want to see everybody win.
Yeah.
And when you're doing that and you care about the next man or the next woman and you want them to just get that sense of gratification for whatever they got going on, the universe has a crazy way of putting that right back in your lap. And those are the people that end up being a part of your life and stick around because your willingness to be there for the next person. It all works itself out. It does. It really, truly does.
I love that. And I'm all for that too. Vlad and I talk about that all the time. Like we don't have time for surface level friendships.
Nope.
In 2026 in our lives. You know, like now we have kids involved. Like our kids are seeing this. Like we want them to know how, like the type of friends that they should have that are long term, that are going to stick with them. You know, we're going to stick beside each other. So yes, I love that, Josh, and I'm so grateful that you have that community and those people in your life. Because I was going to ask you, like, what does your care team look like? We love talking about care teams here, you know, therapists. I don't know if you have a sponsor. I don't know if that's part of your recovery journey or not, but you know, the friends that you call, like, what does your care team look like?
Oh, my care team is amazing. My care team is off the charts, honestly. I got a best friend I've been best friends with since kindergarten, right?
Shout out to
y'all Massachusetts folks and your friends since birth.
Yo.
Hey.
Josh, so Angie, I don't know if it's a Floridian thing. I don't know if they just hot. It's too hot to have people next to you or something.
No, we have friends for a long time too, but I feel like we also let people in, like outsiders in. It's hard. I feel like the Massachusetts friends that I've met, they were very not reluctant to like put me in their circle, but it's like, oh, I don't need any more friends. I got my friend from kindergarten, my cousin. I got my friend from kindergarten, my cousin, and my neighbor that I've had since 3rd grade. I don't need anyone else. You know, I feel that in Massachusetts.
Now, you know what it is? Tribalism is as old as human history.
Yeah.
And I can't tell you why. Maybe, Josh, maybe you have an answer, brother. I don't know. But I'll say that I also have a best friend from kindergarten. I have 2 of my friends I actually talk to the most are both from kindergarten, and they both spent 2 years in kindergarten with your boy, okay? Because we weren't exactly ready to move forward, and there were a lot of good reasons why. But, you know, I don't know that you can do this work, this personal development, this recovery work. Actually, I'll tell you.
You can't do it alone.
You'll never do it alone. You might do it for a little bit, and you might make you feel good, but eventually, without a support system, a diverse system of support, I like to call it, you're going to be right back.
Yeah. Before I forget, because we stopped Josh from sharing the rest of his care team.
Oh, yeah.
ADHD over here. Go ahead, Josh.
I got more than just the one friend from kindergarten.
Yes.
I've let people in my circle, right? Like, I've met the most amazing people you could ever imagine, being in recovery myself. Older people from small towns, people from cities, all walks of life, right? That are just some of the most solid individuals I've ever come across in my life. And, you know, I got one friend that I met when I was in a halfway house. We were there together, right? I'm now the godfather of his child.
Oh,
right?
I love it.
So that's a beautiful thing, right? Like that's an amazing thing. Yeah, and here's the other cheat code to life too when you're a person in recovery is that like all of a sudden all those family members that you didn't think had your best interests in mind, right? Now all of a sudden you start taking care of yourself and you realize that like, wow, I have family. Imagine that, because I spent a lot of time thinking I didn't have anybody. But really what that was a reflection of myself and my feelings that I had about myself that I didn't deserve to have those family members, right?
Wow.
So, yeah, I'm a firm believer in you do good things happen. The universe, God, whatever you believe in, whatever you want to say, doesn't matter to me, right? But it works itself out. The right people gravitate towards you and stay in your life. The wrong ones see themselves out. And it's no beef. It's no issues between us. Nope. Just see you later. Like, I'm good. Because like you said, we don't have time for that in 2026.
No.
We don't have time for that. 2025, 2028, it don't matter, right? We don't have time for that. But that's because of what I believe my worth is to this world. And I didn't always believe that. But now I do. And my team reflects that. It's great, man. I got friends all over the place. I got in different states, all around. And I'm blessed to have that, right? Because not everybody does, but when you believe you're worth it, you are.
Well, in the beginning of this conversation, you said that you're just a regular guy, but I don't believe that, Josh. You're out here doing this great work, and you have this light about you to kind of shine it on others. That ain't nothing normal about that, Josh.
Nah,
okay,
nah. Because
be abnormal out here, okay? Yeah. Above and beyond.
And I don't think there's anything.
Yeah, but like sorry, Vlad. That's the crazy part about the world too right now. Like the day and age it is, right? Because I'm not out here doing anything special. I'm just out here being a good man.
Yeah.
I wasn't always a good man, right? I've made a lot of mistakes. I've done a lot of wrong in my life. But now I'm out here just being a good person. That's it. Like it doesn't require so much effort and like, no, just be a solid dude, be consistent, be dependable and care about people. That's it.
Can I add?
When you say you're going to do something, do it. That's it.
Can I add to something else you said? You said you're focused on being a genuinely good person. And you're making every opportunity count.
Oh,
Hey, shout out.
hashtag.
Look, I'm a strong advocate when it comes to empowerment, right? You know this about me, Josh and Andrew. So there is absolutely nothing wrong with tooting your own horn. And before you even assume what I'm going to say next, like if I don't toot it, who else is going to? Think about how long you have spent putting yourself down, putting your head down in your journey, and you finally get to hold it up high. Acknowledge that you're doing great work. Acknowledge that it's been hard. Acknowledge that it helps people. And I think there's a fine balance between self-reliance and arrogance. And your self-reliance is your light, man. Like that's the light that you bring to the world. So don't be afraid to say, hey man, I'm doing it. So I'm happy to hear that you're acknowledging and giving yourself credit where it's due. Because let's face facts. There are not a lot of people who make it out to the other side. You mentioned friends of yours that you've lost, people that have faded away in your life. We all know somebody or somebodies that we have lost to addiction. A few years ago, I found myself at it's just escaping me, at a funeral home. There was a young man that lived, he was a couple of years younger than me. He lived in the projects with me when we lived there. And he and I, I used to go to his house every once in a blue moon because, Caribbean parents don't let you go nowhere. No. And he was literally across the hall. I'm like, can I step 5 feet across the hall?
No, so we don't know what's going on over there.
Exactly. I'm like, yo, bro, all I want is a MySpace picture and I don't have no webcam. You know what I mean? And back then, if you had something grainy and blurry, it was better than, just than nothing, right? And so he and I didn't hang out, but I'd always go to his school because we went to the same school. But like I said, we were like a year or two behind each other. So he was a year or two behind me. So I'd go back and he'd always be having anger issues and he would be, just getting in a lot of trouble. And I try to go and talk to the assistant principal and, say, hey man, like, can you take it easy on him? He's going through a lot. Cause I don't live with him, but I can see everything. Right. In the projects, you don't really have any privacy.
Right.
And, that was in 2005. And I don't remember what year it was, whether it was 2020 or 2021. I found out that he passed away. And, it wasn't explicitly said, obviously, at his funeral, at the funeral, at the wake, but I believe it was drug related. And he had been clean, and it really spoke to me. How many people showed up in droves, which reminded me like, yeah, this kid was somebody. He was a person. His name was Ricky, and he was a great guy. And outside of all of the things that stigmatized him, the mistakes that he made, he was loved by many, many people. And that's the memory I'm going to have of him, of how beautiful and loved and bright he was. And that was outside of all the things that he was reacting to out of survival. And so I'm glad that you, Josh, are keen on making sure that people reconnect to their sense of dignity, their sense of self, and remind them how loved they are, even if there's no response, even if there's no positive outcome that's tangible right now. People need to hear that over and over and over again. Because if somebody's heard 1,000 times that they're never going to be good enough, that they're not great, that they're a mistake, which many kids hear,
big one.
It may take 2,000 times of the opposite message of you are good enough. You are not a mistake. You are purposefully and wonderfully made. They need to hear that. They may need to hear that 2,000 times before they actually
before it sticks.
Before it sticks and it becomes truth. So last question, man, for you. And I really want to drive this home for the audience. So let's get ready because my man Josh is going to bring us home. For somebody who's listening right now, who feels trapped in addiction, every day looks like the same. Every opportunity doesn't necessarily count. What do you want them to walk away believing? If you had something to say to them, what would that message be, Josh?
I think, Vlad, you just kind of, beautiful segue, man. But you're worth it, right? Like you are worth it. Never, ever, ever sell yourself short on what you are capable of. Vlad explained it earlier on in the conversation, like the human mind is a powerful, powerful tool. If you believe something, you will at least get somewhere closer to achieving that, right? Something they say in Alcoholics Anonymous is faith without works is dead, right? Mm-hmm. Like, have faith, right? But yeah, you still got to put in a little bit of work to get to where you're at. Mm-hmm. But I'm here to tell you that it's not that hard. Mm. And it's very cliche to say and hear, like, what one man can do, another can do, right? But it's so true. If you would have told me 7 years ago when I'm in the streets of Worcester, I'm going to tell you guys, I wasn't even, man, I wasn't even allowed in the Queen Street shelter. Okay. That's the kind of homeless person that I was. They didn't even want me in the homeless shelter no more. All right. That's who and if you would have told me 7 years ago when I'm waking up and there's skunks around me because I'm sleeping on a bench, right? And I'm freezing cold if you would have told me that I'd be where I am right now, I would have never believed you. I would have never, ever in a million years believed you. I'll share something. When I was in a halfway house, shout out the Pathway House in Gardner, Massachusetts, too, man. That place saved my life. We did something where we had to write down some goals, okay? We had to write down some goals 5 years from now. My counselor at the time had me doing this, right? And one of my goals was to take my children to their first Celtics game. Because as you can see behind me, like I'm a diehard. Take my kids to a Celtics game, bring them to Disney World, and be in a position to coach their sports teams. At this time, they were still little. I didn't know if both of them were going to play. One of them was going to play, whatever. I just wanted to be in a position to where I could coach their sports teams. I took them to the first Celtics game. They got up on the Jumbotron the first time they went, right? So that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's something that they hold on to. I didn't have any experience like that as a child, but my kids had that experience. I'm not a soccer player, right? I know about soccer and all that, but my son, one of the sports he plays is soccer. He loves it, right? I was in a position, I was blessed to be able to coach his soccer team a few years ago.
Man, don't get
beautiful
me
thing,
man. Yes.
And I listen, I don't make enough money to book a Disney World vacation, but my kid's mother has done enough good in her life to where she's able to be taking my kids to Disney World in a couple weeks. And that's a beautiful thing, right? That's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And I'm able to see that. I'm able to experience that. I'm able to understand where that hits to my children, right? Like how amazing that is for them to be able to experience that, right? And to not have their dad pissed off that he's not there. No, like this is about you guys. You guys have the time of your lives, right?
I love that you said that, because I feel like so many dads in your position would be so salty that it's not them, or that they can't go, or it's never about the kids. It's about like them in the situation. So I'm so grateful that you brought that up, and you're like, no, this is about you. Like, I'm thankful that you're able to go, and how you speak about their mother, which is another great thing. So thank you.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we talked about this.
And here's the thing. I learned how to do that, right? Yep. I learned how to do that. But ultimately, like she's the mother of my children. She has other children that aren't mine. Yep. But guess what? When I pull up over there, I make sure I have a little happy meal for her 4-year-old daughter. When Christmas time came, I made sure her 4-year-old daughter had something, and the newborn had something, right?
Those are your siblings. Like, come on.
Right. It's funny. I'll share a little funny story, because this 4-year-old girl is amazing. She loves me so much, but what she calls me is Jackson's dad. That's my name. Hi Jackson's dad. Like, that's, and but just to be able to pull up to their home, right, and walk in, and I can shake her boyfriend's hand. I can get him something for Father's Day, and like, I know what I do, man. I know what I bring to the table. My kids know who their dad is, right? Like, I got no beef with anybody. hey man, let's all work together and help these kids grow up to be better than I was. That's the ultimate goal. And going back to the original question, like, don't sell yourself short, because I didn't have this. Nobody taught me how to be a dad. And I took some bad turns along the way until I got to the road that I needed to be on. And like I said earlier, it's about the journey, not the destination. So like that journey, I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful for all the pain, all the struggles, all the drama, all the bad things, good things, whatever. I'm grateful for all of it because it brought me to right where I am right now. And never in my wildest dreams would have thought that this is where I would be, because I didn't believe I deserved it.
Wow.
So
what
Powerful.
lucky children that they just
I'm
see.
I'm the lucky one. I'm the lucky one.
You too, because you're part of, again, we love the word community, but it's like the kids see different relationship dynamics working to their benefit. Like it only helps for everyone to get along and be cordial or have a friendship, like that's just beautiful to me. I love it.
Man, I'm going to piggyback and just say, Josh, it has been a phenomenal conversation, which I don't think all the goodness that emanates between the three of us can really be contained in this one episode. So we're certainly going to have you back.
Yes.
But I just wanted to tell you, brother, you are a phenomenal man. You have a maturity about you. You have vision. And you have an understanding about life that not many people get to experience in this lifetime. And it takes a great wealth of understanding and humility to be able to not only operate in your children's lives and as a co-parent in the way that you do, but also in the work that you do, bro. And so I just want to encourage somebody today, if you need an example of somebody to put on your care team in recovery, no matter what it's from, you need to find you a Josh.
Yeah, find you a Josh K. He belongs to us in Central Mass.
That's right. So that actually brings me, before we wrap up, if people want to get in touch with you, if people are listening to this podcast and saying, I am in recovery, I need to be in recovery, and I need help, I'm local to the Fitchburg area, Massachusetts, or, hey, I want to talk more to this man, Josh, because it seems like he's got a lot.
I want to follow his journey.
I want to follow his journey. Where can they find you, brother?
Right now, Facebook. My name that you see here. I don't know if it's going to show in the video, but it's just my first and last name on Facebook. Friend request me, send me a message, reach out, and then we'll take it from there. Okay. But anybody struggling with anything, please reach out to me. And also, if you're in the northern central Mass area and you're struggling with something, reach out to Making Opportunity Count. Look into First Steps Together. There's a lot of services that are out there for you. Even if you might not think that there's something, there is. There is. And if not, at the very least, there's somebody that can point you closer to the direction you're trying to go. Closed mouths don't get fed around here, right? Like, people like speak up, voice what it is that you need, and there's people out here that will be more than happy to help you achieve whatever your dreams are.
Bars. That's Massachusetts, baby.
Bars. Amen. Bars. Let's go. Josh, it has been real. Thank you, Mr. Kephart,
thank you so
for
much.
coming into the studio and blessing us, man, with your life story, and your life's mission, bro. And I am excited for the viewers to see this podcast and to listen. To those of you listening, thank you for rocking with us. As always, it's your boy, Vlad the Bull, your number one Embrace coach.
And Angie, La Cyber Mommy.
And
Josh, shout out to you guys, Vlad and Angie. Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir. We are out of here.
Stay rooted.
Yeah. Thank you for listening to the Roots and Rhythm podcast. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe so you can stay notified for all our updates, including new episodes. Until next time, y'all, stay rooted.
This watch, so it's counting my steps. It's pretty cool. But I need new tennis shoes, Vlad. I've had my tennis shoes since probably before Lana was born. So do you have any recommendations? I know you're on your fitness all the time.
I used to think that you had to spend at least $150 on shoes, sis, in order for you to actually get some quality ones. But I'm telling you, these new shoes that I tried out, it's like you're walking on air. Matter of fact, you don't even remember you're walking on them at all. It's like you don't even remember you put your shoes on. One time I thought I was barefoot. I'm like, yo, where's my shoes at?
Oh, I love that. And are they light?
Oh, they're super lightweight. They make my old shoes feel like dumbbells by comparison. I'm telling you, these shoes are comfortable, they're lightweight, and it doesn't even feel like you have them on. And on top of that, you can wear them anywhere. They're designed for people who are on their feet all the time, for the moms and dads who are chasing around the kids. So I would highly recommend them if you're looking for something new.
So what are they called and where can I get them?
You can get them at standplus.com. If you go to standplus.com, put in our promo code ADX for an exclusive discount off of your next pair. They are the best all-day recovery shoes, so go ahead and get you a pair.
I'm excited. Thank you, Vlad.
Come on, let's do it.